Hello and welcome to the Print Interviews. We are in Rajasthan and joining us now is the man who was largely credited with the Congress party's victory in Rajasthan last time around, Mr. Sachin Pilot. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Sir, first question I'd like to ask you. You have been going around, you have been campaigning. There's a revolving door policy in Rajasthan, they say. So what is the sense that you're getting this time around?
I think there's a perceptible change amongst the voters in Rajasthan. And my own view is that the 3-decade-old tradition of once Congress, once BJP, that will come to an end this time. Many factors attached to it. But Rajasthan, as in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, I think is set to see a Congress government.
As I said, sir, last time around, the victory of the Congress party was largely attributed to you. You were the Pradesh Congress chief. And it is believed that the Gujjar community especially voted en masse for the Congress because of you, because you got them into the Congress fold. Given what has happened over the last few years with you and Mr. Gehlot and the party, do you think that this community may be a little angry with the Congress and may not support the Congress as much this time?
I think that's sometimes the mistakes some of us make by overemphasizing on this caste calculus that you have. Rajasthan has 8 crore people. Every community, every religion is here. And the Congress is the national party that takes everyone on together. So every district, every constituency may have a certain social setup. I don't think one community or 2 communities can make you win or lose an election. Last time we were, don't forget, in 2013 when we had a Congress government, we reduced to 21 seats out of 200. Now from 21 to come to 100 was a Herculean effort that all of us had to do for 5 years. हम लोगों ने धरने किए, प्रदर्शन किया, भूख हड़ताल करी, पदयात्रा करी, लाठी खाई, जेलों में गए, and we were able to connect with the people and become the voice of the people. That's why people voted for us. It's not about a arithmetic of one community, 2 communities. And now this time when I say that we form the government is because we're working unitedly, working together, and no matter what propaganda the BJP may try and float, people are looking at performance. They're comparing the BJP's national government's performance, the dissensions and the dissatisfaction within the rank and file of the BJP, and the united approach that the Congress party has adopted. So those are very, very defining reasons why people will choose the Congress as opposed to the BJP.
Earlier this year, sir, you made 3 demands from the Congress government. How far do you think they have been met?
So I raised issues because I think it's important for the party to be connected to the issues that matter to the people. It's the parties that make a government. Governments don't make parties. So I think as a political party in Congress, we had made some promises, and I was in opposition. And I think issues of paper leak, etc., are really, they resonate with the people of Rajasthan. 25 lakh people, young people, their exams were cancelled because of paper leaks. But when I took up the issue, the leadership in Delhi took cognizance of it and directed the government of Rajasthan to enact a new law in which the people caught in paper leaks, now the punishment is enhanced up to life imprisonment, which is the only state in India to do that. So that will be a deterrent for people not to indulge in such activities, because no one has the right to play with the future of lakhs of youngsters who spend so much money in taking tuition and coaching and studying in cities when they go from villages. So that I think affects almost every family in Rajasthan. So it's an important issue to be taken up. I wanted the reforms of the Public Service Commission to happen also, because just recently we had an appointment on which the Chief Minister had to apologize that he made a wrong appointment. Now, to avoid such mistakes, I wanted a certain reform of the Rajasthan Public Service Commission so that people with integrity, with a thorough background check, are put in constitutional positions, because the RPSC actually is the fountainhead where you are evolving the next generation of bureaucrats. So conducting exams, taking interviews, they have to be impeccable credibility, these people who occupy these positions. Unfortunately, because of lack of time and the elections were called, you could not get the reforms done in time. And the other issue of corruption is a very big issue, and certain steps were taken by the government and also the
You demanded that there be steps taken against the previous Raji government and
yes.
corruption.
So I'm saying there are some moves we made in the judicial space. That's also been taken up. But I think raising issues and by the party accepting those issues and making the government act on it is something that was required to be done, because elections are fought on issues, and if we are true to our word, only then people believe you second time around. So it's important for us to have done that before we went to polls.
But sir, why couldn't this have been done internally? So
It was done internally.
Why did you have to stay at Dhanna? And
I was to be with people, to walk with them, to take them along with you. There's nothing wrong in it. I've always been amongst people. I've always raised issues, whether I'm in government or in opposition. And that's the kind of person I am. I think it's important for us to be rooted to the ground, remain true to what we say, and be answerable and accountable to the people. There's absolutely nothing wrong in it.
So there's criticism for you within and outside the party that in 2020, when you staged a rebellion of sorts, the criticism is that if you had stayed patient, you were the next in line after Mr. Gehlot to become Chief Minister. Do you agree with this criticism that you were impatient?
People are free, journalists are free to criticize, but rebellion is what I did was rebellion, or what happened on September 25th was rebellion. So the question is, who defines? Was any of us given notices by the AICC for doing what we did? In fact, a committee was formed to look into our issues. I was raising issues for almost 2 years. We had no Dalit minister in our government. Today we have 4 cabinet ministers. A lot of our workers were not given any positions in government. Now scores of people have been given chairmanships and corporationships and heads of other organizations. They've been accommodated. So these issues we raised with the Congress leadership. They formed a committee and actions were taken on what we said. On the other hand, what happened last year, people were given disciplinary notices. So the definition of, please, you must correct yourself and see what the definition of rebellion is. That's
no, but do you think you may have been impatient?
I'm saying everyone is free to interpret whatever they want. I raised issues, they were addressed, and I'm glad the benefit of that will go to the Congress party.
Okay. Next question, sir. Are you satisfied with the distribution of tickets? Because from what we hear at the Congress, you are trying to take advantage of the fact that the BJP did not get the ticketing right in a lot of places. So are you satisfied?
BJP has not got many things right. The Congress party, by and large, has done a good distribution of tickets. Yes, of course, not everybody can be 100% satisfied because it's not possible. But the circumstances, the feedback, the opinion of all leaders, one has to take into consideration. I, for one, have always stood for giving young people more opportunities, getting more young people in the fray. But ultimately, whatever the party decides, we agree with it, and it is our collective endeavor to make sure that the official candidate of the party wins the election. That should be the way that every congressman should work.
This has been largely seen as a clearly Ashok Gehlot sort of election because it's his posters everywhere. The party is going with his schemes at the back of his schemes. So you keep saying it's collective leadership. So why do you say that?
I say that because the Congress party has always believed in that. Whenever we fight elections, I keep saying it's the party that wins. And then you form the government. So today we are fighting to get a majority. Once you secure a mandate, post that, MLAs will sit down together, decide amongst themselves and pass a resolution. And like last time, authorize the leadership in Delhi to decide who will take what position.
So you're saying it's not a given that if Congress wins, Mr. Gehlot will become Chief Minister?
We've never done that. No, not just Rajasthan. In any state, the Congress party, as a practice, as a tradition, as if you look at the history, through decades, in any state, we first fight the elections, win, and then see who will occupy what position, what responsibility is to be given. So it's never a given about who will do what. Today, we have to fight unitedly, we have to fight to win, and the country needs a strong Congress. A Congress is strong if we win these state elections, and that should be our endeavor right now.
Sir, the party has announced a slew of welfare schemes ahead of the elections, and this is being seen as an effort to kind of circumvent the caste politics of Rajasthan and make it a rich versus poor, a has versus have not kind of situation. You think that's going to work? Because the party tried to do that in 2013 as well.
You see, Congress party has always been a centrist, left of center sort of a social welfare inclined party. Now we launched Narega, the first ever scheme of its type in the world. We waived off farmers' loan when Manmohan Singh was Prime Minister. So it's not new that the Congress reaching out and talking about the rights of people, entitlement of people, tribals, Dalits, Adivasis, weaker sections, minorities, young people. We've always done that. Our Udaipur resolution is very clear in what it states. So the Congress government in Rajasthan is doing exactly what the party stands for. The BJP, on the other hand, is also looking at its performance of 9 years. There is dissatisfaction, high inflation, high unemployment. They have no answers to give. All they're harping about is temple and masjids and Hindus and Muslims, but not really delivering on the ground. And once they fail to do that, even now the leaders in Rajasthan are talking about Sanatan Dharma and so on and so forth. They're not talking about the roadmap and blueprint that they have for Rajasthan in terms of development. So that's where the weakness is, and people can see through that. So Congress is doing exactly what it's been doing for decades and for years. Pro-development, pro-infrastructure, pro-poor people, welfare schemes, social security, and combine that with taking everyone together. And that's the motto of the Congress party.
But the BJP is saying these are raveries which may be fiscally disastrous.
So when the BJP government is giving 80 crore people subsidized food to eat, that's not a ravery. And frankly, I rather spend money on giving pensions and scholarships and poor people, money in the hands of poor people, as opposed to waiving off lakhs of crores of rupees of corporate debt of a few individuals. It depends on your priorities.
Last two questions, sir. On the ground, the sense that we are getting is that these welfare schemes, they bode well for the government, but there is still a lot of anti-incumbency against the local MLAs. So how is the party planning to go around that? How are you planning to...
थोड़ा बहुत हर elected representative का हो जाता है. But I think overall people look at the larger picture. They're able to see what the Congress party stands for. It's a national party. We've got good tailwinds coming in from our victories in Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh. So I think we'll get a better mandate than before. And yes, little bit in anti-incumbency will be there with anybody. I won't deny that. But it's not overwhelming that it'll cause us some serious damage in our numbers in final tally.
Final question, sir, and I know you're sick of answering this question, but if Congress comes to power, are you going to stake a claim to the Chief Minister's chair? And have you gotten any assurances from the High Command that this is going to happen?
I'll answer both the questions. First of all, no one stakes a claim. Okay, it's a job. Like, I was given the responsibility of being a party president. I was made a minister in the union cabinet. So you are given responsibilities which you accept very humbly. No one stakes a claim. It depends on what the MLAs want, what the public sentiment is, and what the leadership decides. And I speak for everybody in Rajasthan when I say that, with no exceptions. Second, about assurances, it is not about what assurance I got. It is what assurance I have given. I have assured Kharge ji now that we will deliver Rajasthan for you. We'll work in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So it's not about getting positions of occupying a chair or chair leaving me or not leaving me. It is about us working together to form the government, and that's the assurance I've given the leadership, and we'll make sure we'll do it.
Chair leaving me or not leaving me, I get the ishara over there. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Mr. Pilot.